What's up guys, it's your boy Gifty here, back at it again with another video, and it's time. It's time for the year-end tier list, okay? And now I know you probably have a short attention span from browsing TikTok and stuff, so I think some of you guys already skipped ahead to the end of the video to see the final list. But if you're still here, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Let me dive right into it. Three important things. First point, this is my personal opinion. I live in Singapore, I like certain things that you might not like, and you might like certain things that I might not like. I don't know. So just note that the tier list is my opinion. You are free to express your criticisms and opinions in the comments below, but let's keep it civil. I'll greatly appreciate that. Secondly, you won't see all of the brands on the list. Maybe you guys might be wondering, oh, where's Time Micro? Or where's a PGM model? If you don't see the brand on my list, that means I haven't collected enough cars from that brand to form an opinion. Or I do have cars from that brand, just that maybe I don't know much about it. Basically, if it's not on the list, I just maybe not sure what to say about it. So just keep note of that. And thirdly, do not take this video seriously. I repeat, do not take this video seriously because my opinions might be biased. There's also some thoughts not just on the cars themselves, but the brand as a whole, their marketing, maybe their attitude, the kind of thing. So it all plays a part. This is a very improper video, so please take this video with a grain of salt. Now, if you're still here, let me start right now, okay? Starting with, we're gonna leave Hot Wheels last. Let's start with Matchbox. So Matchbox, I haven't bought a lot of cars, probably less than 10, but I have some from the main lines. I have the one from the opening parts. I think that's cool. And I think the brand as a whole, they've been doing pretty well. I've been seeing some of the stuff from other collectors, such as Lemley Group. I don't really collect Matchbox, but it's always nice to see the things they're coming up with. I personally think that their Metal Creations releases are mostly shit. For 20 US dollars, the cars they're releasing is crap. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and search up the Matchbox Metal Creations cars. They just overpriced garbage. But for the opening part series, the whole idea about the whole recycled package, very cool. Good for marketing, good for the earth. Very cool idea, I like that. But then again, when I put this ranking, just know that I didn't collect a lot of Matchbox this year, so I'm putting it at a B, which is good. Okay, don't be disheartened. B is like good, still a good brand. Okay, for Tomica, I think for Tomica I bought less than 5 cars. Are you guys hearing my phone? Sorry. Welcome to the Drifter D show where everything is impromptu. Alright, I am back in the screen. I'm gonna silent my phone. So for Tomica, yeah, I bought less than 5 cars. I like the whole Fast and Furious thing that they came up with. The Dodge Charger, the R34. Brian's Evil, very cool piece right there. But then they still haven't changed their stupid wheels. Tomica, change your damn wheels. They are ugly as hell. It's already 2024 and you guys have not come up with a new wheel for Tomica mainline. They went from $6.95 Singapore to almost $10 Singapore dollars. But the quality is still the same, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But the Tomica premium line is still not bad. I've been seeing the cars. I think for their price point, the Tomica premium are still pretty good. I know people might separate the premiums with the main lines from Tomica Limited Vantage, but just know that this is a whole. So as much as the premium is good for the price point, I personally still don't buy them. Never bought a single Tomica premium car because other than the Fast and Furious, because at that price point for $15 to $16, if I pay a little bit more, I can get a mini GT or maybe a pop race. So as much as I think Tomica premiums are cool, there's a whole nother story for it. I just feel like they need to catch up with the toolings, new wheels, or new cars or whatever. So, but as a whole, I think there's still a strong Tomica collector base. So Tomica, I think I'll put you B. Is it B? Is B a right? It's not an A, but it's not a B, but it's definitely not an A. So I think Tomica is on par with Matchbox in my heart. I think they're still doing well, just crappy wheels. But the price point, at their price point for the premium cars, I'd rather just buy something else. Next is Majorette. You guys know me, I've always criticized Majorette for the longest time. But I'm happy to say this year it changed a little bit. So Majorette is still shit in general in the sense that their scale is supposedly 1 to 64, but if you put a Majorette beside other cars, they look massive. Majorette, please, if anyone from Majorette is watching this video, I'm so sorry I said shit to your cars, but please change your damn toolings. I used to collect Majorette last time when I was younger. I didn't mind so much about the scales. But now that we have so many brands, look at my list. We have so many brands out there. You are gonna lose out. Why should I buy a Majorette when there are so many other better brands out there? And it's mainly the tooling. So please, Major, if you're watching this video, I love the whole tuner series where you can remove the body kit. I love how they came up with new castings, right? With the Evo and the R34. Good for the JDM collectors. I'm more of a muscle guy, but it's good to see that they are paying attention to the market. You know, they want to create more JDM cars, although Majorette is from the EU region. And for my European viewers, I think you might be hating on me right now. You might be disliking the video. But really, you know, I want to give Majorette a chance, but their tooling is just outdated. Their cars are so big. I want to display my Majorette cars beside my Hot Wheels and my Matchbox and my other scaled brands, but they look so humongous beside them. So I think Majorette has potential. They just gotta change the tooling. Maybe improve the molding a little bit. They're very chunky, partly because of the tooling. So yeah, I think Majorette has a long way to go. But I think it's good to see that they're not giving up. They've established presence in MDX this year, so they are trying to market. You know, they still want to push their products, which is good. I like the determination. But where it stands, Major, you gotta change your damn tooling. I think I'm gonna give Major the D. Next is Johnny Lightning. It's cool because Johnny Lightnings, they make a lot of muscle cars, which I love. Opening parts, rubber tires, depending on the line. I'm not very familiar with the Johnny Lightning series. You know, I have a couple of Johnny Lightning myself that I bought this year. I think as a whole, the brand, I don't know if they do any conventions in the USA or they have any membership cars. I really don't know any of this. But I think as a whole is good. But sadly, almost half of my Johnny Lightning cars which I bought this year all had QCs, quality control problems. Whether it's a paint bubble or the rubber tires is just shreked up, or less like paint chips, or just dirt on my car. It's so frustrating. Like, I wanna love Johnny Lightning, but the QC is terrible. I know for the price point you can't expect much QCs. Yeah, I mean you can't expect it to be perfect, right? I understand, but from a Singaporean perspective, they're not cheap. Johnny Lightnings are much more expensive than a Hot Wheels premium. I think I can also buy a skilled car, such as a Pop Race or Mini GT at that price point. Until Johnny Lightning can fix their QC issues, I think I'll have to give them a B for now. I love their cars, good casting, but QC is absolutely terrible. But I love their cars, muscle cars. Auto World, I think is comparable to Johnny Lightning's. I think it's almost the same points for Auto World, as I said from Johnny Lightning just now, because they also have like rubber tires and opening parts. But their QC is way better. I don't I think I don't have a lot of problems with Auto Worlds. Their quality control is much better, less complaints. Same idea as Johnny Lightnings. They have like JDMs, maybe muscle cars, which I love. So better than Johnny Lightning, I'll definitely give it an A. And for their price point, I'm pretty happy with my purchases for Auto World. Now, Mimi Big Boy, we have Mini GT on the line. So, Mini GT, I think it goes without saying, they've been at the top of their game this year. They released a lot of great castings. I can't think at the moment, but for example, the Rexy, love the Rexy released from Mini GT, much better than a Hot Wheels version. They also released the IMSA racing cars, such as the Cadillac and the Honda, you know. And all in all, I think they had new toolings this year, which is really cool. A lot of their racing cars or exotic cars, where there's a McLaren and stuff. For example, they also recently released the McLaren F1 GTR in the Golf livery. That one is fantastic. So they've been in the top of the game. They've been very, very strong with their marketing. They've been at MDX. They've been at IDE, you know. And if you see their social media pages, they're just constantly pushing out things. And as a brand as a whole, very active in the diecast scene. I think I don't need to go on any further. before I give the rank, it also includes the Kaido House because Kaido House is technically under Mini GT. So just on Kaido House is good, you know. I mean, as much as they've released like the 510 for like the 200th time, which is getting tiring. And the whole Black Limited series is stupid. The fact that you pay $300 for a black car is not as bad as Hot Wheels because for Hot Wheels, you can buy the black chase pieces in the wild at retail price, like what, $6. You have a chance. But Black Limiteds are simply like you have to buy it at the so-called scalp price. So instead of scalpers being the scalpers for Hot Wheels, the scalpers themselves are Kaido House, where they sell straight to the consumer. Hey, here's a black car. You cannot buy these from anywhere else except from us for $200. It's very stupid. But anyways, this probably for another video. I think Black Limited is such a stupid idea. But yeah, I think Mini GT gets an S. Now for Kyosho. So honestly, I only got one car from Kyosho this year, and it's the 400R from the MOTN series, the motion series they call it, where the headlights and the rear lights they light up. I think it's cool. Really appreciate. It's worth noting that Kyosho did send me the car for me to feature, so I thought I'll put it out. Huge shout out to them for sending me the car, and I love it. But other than that, I don't know what cars, they make other scales as well. I am not sure what they have ahead, but I think they're really trying to revive. They're trying to do a revival of the brand, and I am very optimistic for Kyosho. If it comes to scale cars, I think Kyosho is one of the early pioneers of scaled 1 to 64 cars. Cars that looked realistic with plastic front lights, plastic rear lights, separate pieces. So I'm very curious to see where Kyosho is headed moving forward. But for now, I can't give a strong opinion because I only got one car from them this year. But based on that one car alone, and based on their marketing, I think it's cool that Masamu-san from Kyosho is very active on Instagram. He's always reposting people's picture and stuff, which is a nice touch. I love it when brands interact with their collectors. I think I'll give Kyosho an A grade. Next up is Micro Turbo. Man, I think it's cool that they still, what do you call that? Making those trucks or cars with pop-up headlights. I just wish that they would release more cars. Like they already have something going on with their S2000. Those with the pop-up headlights and stuff. But I just wish that they would create more cars. I want to see the micro turbo treatment on other cars that also has pop-up headlights, or maybe a removable roof. I don't know. They're not active on social media. They're not really at events, as far as I know. But their cars are cool. Obviously, the price point is a different thing. They're not cheap. Okay. So as much as their cars is very cool, it will definitely be an S. The price point and their lack of activeness on social media, it just kind of plays a part, So yeah, cool cars, very nicely detailed. A little bit expensive, but not active with the diecast scene. Next is GCD Models. I also don't have a lot of their cars. I got like some of their trucks, a Sirocco with where their wheels turned. So their cars are cool, standard. I think I have a rally car from that's from BMC Creations. I just realized I forgot to add BMC Creations on the list, but never mind. Yeah, I don't have a lot of GCD cars. I think one thing I really hate. Okay, I have to say that again. One thing I really hate about GCD is their packaging. Their packaging is crap. If you guys have seen their packaging, it's terrible. You can pause the video, search on Google GCD Models. The orange box, it's terrible. I would add that in for the video, but that's not my plan. I'm trying to, do it one take for this video. But anyways, their packaging is terrible. The cars are all the way in, and then there's a layer of plastic around it, and then there's like the plastic molding inside it, so you can't really see the car inside. I really don't see the point of that, because if not, the cars are actually really cool. They're good, They make some good cars, but it's sad that their packaging don't do it justice. Social media wise, events wise, I don't think they're very active, so I have to give them a B. But I think they got potential. Next is Cartuned. Okay, so Cartuned is quite a new brand this year. And I think what I really like about Cartuned, firstly, it's worth mentioning that Cartuned, to put it simply, they did send me some cars. Okay, but I got lost in transit. Yeah, they, I don't know, like Singapore warehouse lost it. Kind of sucks. But I like the thought. It's nice that they sent out cars to me and a lot of other content creators as well. For those who are active on Instagram, I think you guys might have seen those. And it's cool that Cartuned is, even though they're new to the scene, they are opening up their arms to creators like myself. And I think it's good that they're engaging with collectors just like us. And huge plus for that. Their cars are pretty cool. They're very detailed. They have rubber tires. You can swap the chassis. And the designer, Mr. Tahara, right? Sorry, Tanahara. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. He's very active in sharing people's posts and commenting on them and engaging them. I think it's really nice, like I said, when brands engage with the collectors because in the end of the day, it's for the collectors by the collectors. So huge plus for Cartoon on that. Very curious to see where they're moving forward with this. But they definitely have to be how you call it? They have to be more active because as far as I know here in Singapore, I'm not seeing anything other than Series 1, maybe Series 2, and not a lot of coverage on it. I think they gotta ramp up their marketing. Obviously they're a new brand, so all of this is just my opinion. But I think they're headed the right direction. So Cartoon will get. Oh, that's too big. We'll get an A. Good, it's good. Like the cars, cool guy running the company, cool designer, good brand, very optimistic. Next is Eno 64. Uh I think it's great, Eno 64. I have a couple of them. I bought quite a bundle of Eno 64s this year from MDX, from IDE. I think I love their cars, right? They're very detailed. Definitely sucks that they don't roll, or at least roll smoothly, but I still get them. I know you guys might think, yo, Drifter, you're a loose collector. Don't you want your cars to roll? Of course. Of course, I want my cars to roll. But I also like details, and Eno 64 does a great job with them. However, I just wish that they will also expand their line. Because right now, when I'm thinking of Eno, the only cars I can name are like the R35, the R34, the new Vision Skyline, the R36 or R50 they call it. It's a very nice. I'm very happy to see that tooling, but that's still a GTR. Man, I just wish they would create something other than a GTR. Please like try something new. Really, like has so much potential, but they released the R35 and R34 and R Jingabadig so many times, and I'll be so curious to see what other castings they'll make for 2025. And I sure hope it's not another R35. I'm not hating on the GTR fanboys, but that's just my truth. That's just the truth. I think it's also cool that they are very active in events, trying to offer collectors and stuff. This one is not to get political, but what I heard is like for MDX, it's supposed to be an exclusive car, and then months later they re-release it. A lot of collectors do express their distrust on that. I think it's kind of a dickish move because I flew all the way to Malaysia, supposedly wanting to buy the exclusive cars and stuff, and then 6 months later, boom, Singapore sellers are selling it. Good for people, so they have a chance to get it, but it's a bit of like false advertising, right? Like imagine flying all the way to a country to get a event cars, and then bam, like it's just released later on. So just thought I'll put that out. But the cars are great overall. It's great. It's still great. So I think I'll put Eno at an A. I'll give Eno an S if they can release more cars, more toolings, and if the cars can roll, that would be fantastic. Okay, Greenlight. I think Greenlight. I only bought a few this year. But the Greenlight Hollywood is still OG. I think they're one of the few brands that really does well in creating so-called quite detailed cars with opening hoods, metal base, rubber tires, and then I have the license for Hollywood movies, whether it's Gone in 60 Seconds or the John Wick. Yo, my favorite car from them, I don't think it's from this year specifically, but it's a car that I bought this year, is the John Wick Boss 429. So I think it's really cool. They also tried to establish presence at the IDE. They had their own booth. They tried to make like a event exclusive, which I don't know. It's not really that nice. It was like an Integra, like cool. But I also heard they're trying to make a comeback. They're under the Greenlight is gonna be under new management, so there's gonna be an overhaul in the way they do things. I'm very optimistic for that as well. But as of where it stands, definitely need to I think be more aggressive in the diecast market, because I just feel like, oh, they release nice cars, but I don't really see a lot of people posting on them. I don't see a lot of posts on Greenlight, more specifically on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So they need to be more active with their social media marketing. But yeah, I think Greenlight, I'll put it at a B. I think A works as well, but I'm leaning more towards B. I think more towards B. Next is Sparky. Also active in all the expos. I think I have like the the off-road Huracan. What's it called? The Lamborghini Huracan Starato. I think that's what it's called. Sorry guys, I'm having a brain fart, but I'm referring to the off-road Huracan. And I think I might have one or two other Sparky cars that I bought this year. They specialize in racing cars, but other than that, I don't know much about them. So I think for Sparky, I think their cars are cool, and for their price point, they are quite on the what do you call it, 18 to 20 range. So I think for Sparky, I think they'll get an A. I've seen their cars; they're pretty cool, but they're just not my cup of tea. Like, you have to understand, their cars are cool. I have to emphasize, their cars are cool, but I just don't find myself buying Sparky models because I think my thing just don't align with them. So I give them a B grade. Now, next is CM model. So for CM model, wow. When it comes to like scale games, we're talking about the high 30s to $40 cars. So definitely very expensive. So please keep this in mind. They are much more expensive. But their cars come with like what? Extra set of wheels usually. They're Paganis. If you love Paganis, you should be collecting CM models because their Pagani toolings are fantastic. Okay, they also have some McLaren cars coming up and stuff, which are really great. Very detailed when I take videos of them. Looks very nice. But other than that, it's just that. I'm very curious for CM model to, I think maybe they want to get the license for other brands and start making them. So same for CM model, I think very optimistic for them. But as of right now, they're just making McLarens and Paganis mainly. But their cars are really, really cool. At least for what they're making now, I absolutely love it. I don't have any complaints with CM model so far. I don't have any QC issues. They also are active in the expo. Got to talk to the CM model dude. Very nice guy. I think it's great. I think CM model is okay. This is a bit tough because I want to put an as great because their cars are really great. But they only release like a few cars and maybe they come in different colors like the Liberty Walk and stuff. But A grade, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards the A grade. They gotta release more cars if they want to be on par with brands like Mini GT. So, but still very good. I love CM model. They're very nice. Next, pop race. So before I start giving my opinion on pop race, I have to give a huge disclaimer that they do send me their models. Whether it's the factory prototype and stuff. I do partner up with a pop race. So there will be a huge biasness in a lot of the things that I'm gonna say now, and I think you guys already can sense where I'm gonna put it. But I think my argument is, if I didn't like their brand, then I wouldn't even partner up with them in the first place. Does that make sense? So while there is biasness there, I feel like my biasness is justified. If you tell me Majorette does the same thing, then like, oh, Majorette sends Drifter free cars. And I'm like, yeah, guys, Majorette is like an ass grade. Then, there's something wrong. But for Pop Race, hear me out. They have been on fire this year. They have been on fire, man. Just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, they come up with crazy cars like the CLK, which just came out recently. And then they came up with the whole hydrochrome paint job, which is crazy. A lot of their cars have opening features, rubber tires. The artwork on their boxes are amazing. They have fantastic marketing. Pop Race is very active on their social media, especially on Instagram. It doesn't matter how big or small you are. they're always sharing any people's posts or IG stories, even if it's just a collector with a small following. They will acknowledge it. They'll repost it on IG story. They like to engage with their collectors, and their cars is just amazing, man. And for their price point, the fact that you can get them for 18 to 24 Singapore dollars, it's crazy, man. It's like premium models, but they still have opening features on them. Sometimes even two opening features, like the front and the back. Is there any other brands out there where the freaking trunk opens? I really can't think at the moment, but they are on the top of their game as well, man. They are on fire. And all the event exclusives they've been releasing this year, the whole dinner event that they had in Macau, it's crazy. They really I admire I admire their confidence, man. They know where they're going. They know where they wanna go, and Pop Race most definitely deserves an S grade. Oh, sorry, it's a bit too big. On par. So I don't want to get political with what's going on here, and it's up to you guys to form your own opinion. But Pop Race is definitely an S grade. Once again, there's biasness definitely when I put it here, but I think my bias is justified. You can tell me in the comments why you don't think these two brands so far don't deserve the S grade. Tell me in the comments. Hey, maybe they shouldn't deserve S grade because of this or that. You can tell me in the comments. Next is BBR Models. So this is like in close line with Mini GT, right? It's always like Mini GT releases their cars on top with BBR. Not entirely sure what's going on there. I don't have a BBR model, but I've seen their releases. I know it's very weird, right? Like, oh, Drifter, what? Just now you were saying if you don't have a car from them, it wouldn't be on this list. But I've been paying attention to their cars. I think it's cool that they release cars such as the Maserati MC12 and some of the Ferrari cars. To see a scaled Ferrari car is amazing because the Ferrari license is not easy to obtain. But just based on what I see, I think it's cool. I never got myself to buying a BBR because they fall a bit short on some of the details that I'm looking for in a scaled model. If I'm gonna pay close to what, $25-30, I want to make sure that it's the scaled treatment. But I've seen the wheels. The wheels appear chunky, the rims a bit thick sometimes, and the molding of the car, I can't put my finger on it. And maybe the color. They recently released the Ferrari in a red paint job, but with yellow stripes. Oops, that's my speaker right there. But with yellow stripes. It's the color of McDonald's. Yep, so you can't see it. Next time you see a red car with yellow stripes, it reminds me of McDonald's. So those are just some few reasons why I haven't bought BBR models. The colors, maybe I just looking for the right color or maybe even the right car. So there's definitely a lot of uncertainty, and now that I mention it, I don't even know why this is on the list. So I think BBR is inconclusive, so I'm gonna put this aside. But those are just some pointers. But guys, if you have a BBR model to recommend to me, please tell me in the comments which car you like and convince me, because right now they're just falling short on some of the things that I mentioned. Next is Tarmac Works. Wow, Tarmac Works has been on it since 2018. I think I might be wrong. I'm most definitely wrong. But the reason why I remember that date is because around that era I was still in a polytechnic, and I bought Tarmac Works. That's when I started seeing Tarmac Works. They released the Honda Civic Type R back then, and they're one of the early pioneers to the whole acrylic display thing with scale. No, actually that's Kyosho, sorry. But Tarmac Works was one that really like normalized the whole acrylic cases stuff. Together with back then, like I also saw Eno64 doing it. And now to see where they are, I think it's cool. A lot of question marks on Tarmac cards. That's for another video possibly. But Tarmac Works, together with the Tarmac cards, if done right, they do look nice together. But then again, Tarmac cards, Pokemon cards. Sorry, I'm losing track here. I think they're cool. Tarmac Works, like they recently released the Audi RE Chromie. I think it's very nice. I love the Chromie. They also released the Tarmac Works, those that comes in the boxes, such as the Dodge Viper SRT or the Liberty Walk Dodge Challenger collaboration with Lamley Group. Basically, some of their cars they're very nice, very very cool cars. The event cars such as the Sylvia Hello Kitty, one of my top favorites from this year as well. Not a fan favorite, personal opinion, just love it. I think Tarmac Works need to work on some toolings of their cars, such as the Renault or like the Nissan Skyline HT 2000. Their cars look very tiny, and I think the tooling on some of their cars are just a bit outdated. Like they're still using the same tooling from like 2018. So it just looks a bit old. You know, it looks a bit chunky, you know. For example, when the front fender is supposed to have like a separate piece for the fins end up being a part of the mold of the front bumper. It's very hard to describe by words. But I think basically some of their cars need a fresh new update on their toolings. Even Hot Wheels does that. They've updated the Bugatti Veyron tooling multiple times, right? Hot Wheels. So I think Tarmac Works should definitely look into that as well. They also create really cool Koenigseggs, you know, Koenigseggs, I mean, and some of their like upcoming cars. I can't think at the top of my head, you know. But the Koenigseggs are really cool. The AMG GT and stuff. For me personally, Tarmac Works, I think it's an S grade. It's an S grade. They have a wide range of cars, a wide range of price points. They're very active on social media as well, at events. Felix is at the events. To be able to talk to these owners, I think is cool, right? I think those in the S grade so far, the owners of the brands or the people from those brands are actually at the event. You get to talk to them, interact with them. Very, very huge plus points. So that's my justifications for all the three brands that are all in the S grade so far. Very, very cool. Next is a Tiny. Um, do I have any tiny cars this year? Unfortunately, I think I have bought a few tiny cars this year. Very, very cool. I think I've seen them at some booths. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough info to form an opinion on Tiny, but I think in general they're very cool. I think Tiny is a cool brand, but it wouldn't be fair for me to put them in an A because I really don't know anything. I really don't have a lot of Tiny cars, but to put them in B, ah, yeah, I think sorry guys. If you guys have any recommendations for Tiny cars, please tell me in the comments. Because I've been seeing some of the stuff they've been doing. I think it's pretty cool. But sometimes I just don't really find myself knowing what to buy from them. So please, if you have any recommendations from Tiny, tell me in the comments. We are at the 32-minute mark. Last but not least, Hot Wheels. I have collected Hot Wheels since I was 4 years old. I'm 25 now. But unfortunately, my passion for Hot Wheels has slowly died down over the years. And here's why. I think Hot Wheels, when I first collected it, it started off as a toy brand, a cool brand where it's cheap, definitely, $1 in the USA, 4 Singapore dollars in Singapore, which is around $3 US, and it was very accessible, right? Very, very cool for their price point, very nice, wide range of cars, cool tracks and all. Then their peak was during the mid 2010s, where they did the whole X game, double dare loop challenge, and the truck was jumping across stadiums. That was peak Hot Wheels right there, man. Acceleracers, Highway 35. That was like a true meaning to like Hot Wheels, you know, making their own games and stuff. But nowadays, I think they've lost their identity. Here's why. Firstly, they've become like this corporate brand that don't think of their collectors anymore. They just want to market and push and whatever. Whether it's collaborating with Daniel Arsham. You know, the whole Daniel Arsham collab, which I strongly resent. It's cool if you want to sell them at $70 each. There's 8 cars to complete the set. But recently, they re-released the entire set with all the cars at a cheaper price. Now, as much as I freaking hate that series, I feel bad for my collector buds who put in the effort and time to try to collect all those cars individually and complete the set, and then suddenly hear like, oh, you can actually just buy the entire set in one go on this date. What an absolute dick move from Hot Wheels. They also started this whole Elite 64 line. Some cool cars like the Liberty Walk Lambo, but some else as well, which a lot of collectors are complaining on Instagram. Uh, they just gotten so out of touch, you know. Guys, take a moment to look at my list. If you had $20, would you rather buy one of the cars that you're seeing on the list or pay that $20 to a scalper? And that brings me to my next point. The Hot Wheels business model is dead. Having to buy your cars from retail, having to hunt them down, is just a waste of time. A lot of the brands that you see on my list right here, you can pre-order them in advance. So you don't have to waste time heading down to stores, having to hunt for them. Maybe out of 10 times, only one time you actually find the car you're looking for. And then you waste all those precious hours traveling and hunting for those cars. You can argue that hunting is fun. I can't deny that. I still hunt whenever I can. But if you have to hunt just to find the cars that you want to fill up your collection, that business model has to freaking die. What I'm trying to say is if I want to pre-order for example, a Tarmac Works cars, it should be my choice to know that I don't have to pay a scalper 2 times, 3 times the price to get the car I want. But if I want to go and hunt the Tarmac Works cars at a hobby shop at a later date, then that's also my choice. But at least I know that if I wanted to, I could have pre-ordered it. But that's not the case for Hot Wheels. There's always if you guys know from hobby store owners, if Hot Wheels don't produce enough cars, at least in the Asia market. I don't know how in the USA you guys find your super treasure hunt all the time, all the freshest cars. I don't know. Maybe Hot Wheels is an American brand after all, so it only makes sense that it's the best place to hunt for Hot Wheels. But holy smokes, Hot Wheels needs to sort themselves out. Yo, look at yourself, man. You are surrounded by all of these brands out here. And for you to be greedy as a corporate brand, doing all these stupid collaborations, you guys don't give a single flying F about us collectors. Us creators as well. As a creator, I feel so upset that I've made videos on Hot Wheels for so many years. It's so cool to see that a lot of you guys say, hey, Drifter, because of you, I started collecting Hot Wheels. That's amazing. But Hot Wheels has never once reached out to me. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about the Mattel Creations cars. Hot Wheels technically sent me 2 packages. But I want to argue that that's under the Mattel Creations websites. Yes, it's still a Hot Wheels branding, but they are 2 separate entities. I wish I could explain better what I mean by that, but you don't see Hot Wheels sending me their latest mainlines, or sneak peeks, or premium cars. Now I know you might be thinking, oh wow, Drifter, you sound so whining. You're like whining that, oh boo-hoo, Hot Wheels didn't send you any a single mainline or a single premium car in your years of creating videos, which is true. A lot of the brands that you see on this list, such as Mini GT, Pop Race, Tarmac Works, man, Hot Wheels, get the hell out of here. You're not an S grade. You bitch ass out of there, bro. They actually work with content creators. They engage collectors Whether it's through a live stream, that kind of thing. Okay? Yeah, sure, maybe Hot Wheels does that, but I don't care. But the important thing is a lot of these brands that you see right here, they engage with us creators. But Hot Wheels doesn't do, they don't give a damn about these kind of things. They don't address the scalper issue. The amount of series they have the main lines, the semi-premiums, they have the Hot Wheels Boulevard, Hot Wheels Car Culture. They milk the hell out of Fast and Furious cars. They have 3 packs, they have 5 packs, they have the new 6-pack box, they have 10 packs, they have 20 packs. They have the Team Transport line now. They have cars with 2 premium cars in a single set. Now they have box sets for everything. How about the RLC? Instead of fixing the website, they charge you $100 to have RLC Overdrive, just so you can get the car that you are supposed to get in the first place. But because the website is crap, instead of choosing to fix their stupid website, using their money, they want your money instead. They want you to pay for RLC Overdrive to get their cars. Which is why I stopped buying RLC. I think it's time to stop supporting Hot Wheels and their stupid antics. So that's why I give Hot Wheels an E. I have sold over 80% of my Hot Wheels collection, guys. If you look at my wall of cars now, the number of Hot Wheels cars I have in my collection gets lesser and lesser. As a joke, obviously, I still love the Dura 2. That will always be in my heart. But Hot Wheels as a brand has gotten crap. I also want to mention that this does not include the designers. The designers are amazing. The fact that they actually travel down all the way to Singapore Diecast Expo. I've talked to a lot of the designers. I don't want to name them because I don't want to involve them in all the negativity or what's happening in this room. But the designers are fantastic. I think it's great that they're passionate about this brand. But from what I heard, there's a lot of constraints. You know, like for example, if a designer wants to do acceleracers, it's so tough. That's why it's been so many years, but only this year we got the Taku variant of the Dura 2. Oh, how can I forget the NFT Garage? Encouraging gambling to get the car you want. You pay money, you open the pack, you either get a moving GIF or a very, very slim chance of getting the actual car, which is essentially gambling. Once again, I don't include the designers in this list. You know, I think it's just corporate Hot Wheels as a whole. So there you have it for my tier list. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, please, I don't know, please comment the word Yoda. You know, just include the word Yoda in your comment, hashtag Yoda. And that will show me when I'm looking through your comments, when I read through them. If you comment the word Yoda, oh, this person watched the entire video. Also, please let me know your thoughts and opinions on my tier list. I'm sorry that the vibe has gotten gloomy after expressing my frustration with Hot Wheels. But that's just the truth of it. But let's try to lift things up. I think as a whole, the whole diecast scene has gotten so much better over the years. So much more events, so much more brands and you know, cool ideas and innovative features that they have. I can't wait to see what these brands are gonna do for 2025 to wow us collectors. I'm very curious to see if next year there will be a change in the rankings that you're seeing right here. Maybe some of these brands will go up, maybe some of these brands will go lower in rank. I don't know. And that's the exciting part about collecting. One of the exciting parts about collecting diecasts is to see what these brands have in store. So I'm not gonna hold you guys any back longer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.